What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Edwina and this is Versicolor Closet, where we love all things colorful. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you guys through the process of how I get this hairstyle. This is crochet braids, and as you can see, they are some beautiful faux locks and I love the color. You could really see it in the end. This is called Caramel. This is what the packaging looks like. I hope everything is in focus, but it is called the Boho Hippie Loc and it comes in 20-inch length. I absolutely love this hair. It is super soft, super lightweight. I am currently wearing 5 packs. So typically I do use 6 packs, but because my cornrows were a little bigger this time, I ended up using less hair in the back. I can eventually still go back and add more if I want more volume, but I absolutely love this hairstyle. I will be inserting clips of the braiding pattern that I use. So typically when you're doing crochet braids, there's so many different braiding patterns. Some people do cornrows going straight back. This braiding pattern allows you to move the hair in whatever direction you want to move it to, and you could even have it going all straight back, as you could see, because you could see the individual squares, so it looks like there's individual crochets, you know, basically coming out of your scalp, although that's not the case. Without any further ado, let's get started with how you can get this style for yourself. This is the braiding pattern that I was referencing. So basically you're able to do individual box braids that you then connect to the next braid in order to create a line in between so that it can look like individual braids. The back, you don't really have to worry too much about how it's braided, because as long as it's neat and the ends are tucked in, then you're fine. So what I'm doing right now is crocheting the end of that braid by looping it in underneath the braid. I don't really know how to explain this, but I hope that by watching it, it makes more sense. So you basically put the hair through the loop and then you close the latch and then you pull through underneath the cornrow, and it secures the end of that braid so you don't have to have it hanging loose. By leaving it hanging loose like that, it's dangerous for when you're cutting the extensions out of your hair when you're taking it out. This has happened to me before where I end up trimming the ends of my own hair. So definitely make sure you're tucking away these ends so that you can have a very flat foundation to begin your install. Some of my braids in the back are a little bigger than I would like them to be, but it is what it is. Can't do anything about it now. But try to make sure that your cornrows, even in the back, are uniform so that when you are tucking the ends away, you don't end up with a really big braid on the back of your head, kind of like what I have. Let's try to avoid that part. But yeah, I'm basically tucking the rest away and giving you guys a close-up of how I do that. So you see, just loop it through and tuck the ends. This is a close-up of what the hair looks like straight out of the pack. I'm going to assume that most of you already know how to install crochet braids, but just in case you don't, it's a simple process. You begin by inserting the open hook underneath the braid, then you insert the loop inside of the latch and you close it, then you pull the hair through, you remove the hook, and then you just loop that hair through the little hole, and it's so simple. I feel like it might be harder to explain, but once you see it and try it, like, I feel like crochet braids is one of those styles that you don't necessarily have to be a hairstylist to know how to do. So I would say definitely give it a try. I'm going to speed up through this part just so that this video is not too long, but if you are wondering how long this entire process took, it's about 2 hours, and that's because I was filming and had also some technical difficulties, but I totally have done crochet braids in less than an hour before, so it definitely saves you on time. So I recommend trying it. Even if it's not this style of hair, there are endless options available. This is how far one pack gets you. Now off to the second pack. As you can see, I'm not using a mirror. This is just me touching the braids and feeling wherever there are gaps, and that's where I would install a braid. I finished the second pack and used the third to finish the first half of my hair. So this took about an hour and we are completely done with the back, and now we're ready to move to the front. You basically loop the crochet needle through the braid. You put the hair in there and you close the loop. And then you just feed the hair through the hole, and that's really it. Like, I love how it fits exactly on each square. That way it just looks natural, like it's kind of coming out of your hair or coming out of your scalp. I'm gonna do this again slowly in case there are any beginners that really want to know how to do crochet braids. But again, you feed the needle, you leave it open and you feed it through the braid, then you put the hair and then you close the hook and you pass it through. Once you pass it through, you could remove it, use your fingers inside of the hole that comes, the hair already comes with this hole, and you just feed it through and pull. Super easy. Like, crochet braids is the best thing that happened to Black girls around the world. I wish this was around when I was in college. I absolutely love this. Before I did the braid, so I washed my hair, I took the time to moisturize it very well. I laid down my edges using the Cream of Nature Argan Oil Perfect Edges. This is an extra firm hold. I would say this is like a 7 or 8 out of 10. It is not the perfect, you know, edge control gel, but it does the job even though it doesn't last long. So I've seen a lot of people use the edge booster, so I really want to try that one. But I also use this oil, which was made by my friend. She's a hairstylist over at Viali Hair Care. So if you guys want to check her out on Instagram, she'll probably have these for sale. But I really love it. So I love the fact that it has a dropper, so I was able to moisturize my scalp really well before I put my braids on. As you can see, we are down to the very last section and we're getting close to the end. And look at that. You can see like the look of satisfaction on my face, right? Because this hair, it's giving, honey. I'm just so here for it. So to make sure that your parts are clean, try not to add too much hair where the hair is actually parted. Try to crochet directly over the box braid that you created. So the hair is not tight at all. You can see that I was able to move it left and right and manipulate it right when, you know, I was done with it. So no pain, no headaches. That's another reason why I love crochet braids. You guys, this is the final look. I am absolutely obsessed with this hair and I cannot convince you enough to try it. I want to kind of cover all of the questions people typically ask. As far as cost, each pack of these where I purchased them cost $9.99. I will be sure to find different websites that sells this for you guys. A lot of times you find them at a better price online, but I'm not sure how much it costs, but whatever it is, I'll be sure to link it below. But you can definitely find this at your local beauty supply store. There are a few in my area, and sometimes I would find it in one and not find it in another. So you probably have to look around, but if you don't want to do that, you can definitely order this online. A lot of people always ask about how heavy it is. This is so lightweight, and I know that is not the case for every style because I've tried a different brand of faux locks and they were super heavy, so I don't recommend those. But this particular brand, as you could see, it flows, it's so lightweight. I absolutely love it. There is also the regular Boho Locs versus the Boho Hippie Loc, and the Hippie one, the difference with it is that it has these additional strands on the side, so it makes the hair looks even more voluminous. Like, when I tell y'all obsessed, like I am feeling myself right now. and I think this is the perfect hair for fall. It's also the perfect hair for vacation because you don't have to worry about it getting wet, and you could style it in so many ways. I actually have a reel on Instagram where I showed, I believe, 5 or 6 different ways to style it, so I'll be sure to insert that here. And if you guys also want to see the different ways that I style it, you can totally follow me on Instagram at Versicloset. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you found it helpful. It didn't take that long at all. I started at 6:30 and finished about 8:30, and that's with taking a few breaks because I had some technical difficulties while I was filming. But this could be done in about an hour if you know what you're doing, and you could do it fast. But even doing it in 2 is just a treat, because if you have to do single braids, you guys know that's like an 8-hour process, and nobody has time for that. Ever since I discovered crochet braids, I stopped doing single braids. So again, I hope that you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week for another one. Bye guys.